Demon Slayer, more like Hollywood Slayer. Am I right? Ah, dude, holy shit, Demon Slayer. We talked about this last week. The new Demon Slayer movie, Infinity Castle, finally premiered in North America and in a lot of other regions as well. And the numbers were wild. Like, if you remember, we talked about this on Friday. The numbers were all over the place, man. And, yeah, I mean, you had some people saying it would be 30, 40 million. You had some people saying it could go as high as 80 million. But then other people were saying, like, that's insane. There's no way. Well, history was made, guys. And not to be hyperbolic, because I'm never like that. You know what I mean? I keep it real chill and try to keep everything nice and within reason. But Hollywood's changed forever. It'll never be the fucking same. It's Jover. Infinity Castle had the biggest opening weekend for a foreign film in the U.S., earning $70 million. This is not the biggest foreign animated film opening weekend. It's the biggest foreign film opening weekend in the United States fucking ever. Godzilla Minus One. You ever hear of that movie? Do you know about Godzilla Minus One? Do you know about Godzilla Minus One? Remember Godzilla Minus One? Remember how popular it was? Remember how much chatter there was about Godzilla Minus One? Do you remember that Godzilla Minus One's director got invited to Lucasfilm? And they had a special screening. Dave Filoni made it happen. Do you remember Godzilla Minus One? Everybody's talking about this guy's next project. Godzilla Minus One is the shit. You know what Godzilla Minus One opened with in the North American audience? 11.4 million. 11.4. I just want you to see, because there's some... The reason I bring stuff like this up is because one of the really crazy things that's happening in culture right now is like culture is shifting without the cultural gatekeepers. It is shifting and it is not asking permission. And there's a bunch of fucking boomers out there that exist in all pillars of entertainment and coverage of entertainment. And the culture is shifting, and these people are not noticing. I just want you to really hone in on that exact comparison. Godzilla Minus One. You remember how much the zeitgeist, how much the sense-making apparatus tried to tell you how important and significant that movie was. It opened at $11 million. This opened at $70 million. $70 million, dude. This thing broke records. It's one of the biggest openings, period, in September, period. This is crazy, dude. This is absolutely insane. It is almost the biggest 2D animated movie ever opening. Almost. And animation gets a little weird because there's hybrid animation. There's a lot of computer-generated animation. Of course, Pixar has an incredible run of some very successful films. But as far as just 2D animation, my God, brother, this thing is already up over $400 million worldwide. My God. What a crazy success. And then here's the other thing about this, okay? Because the numbers on the high end are incredible. And the thing I really want you to pay attention here is this is the game that Hollywood, the Hollywood sense-making apparatus, the Hollywood trades, this whole thing, this is the game they've been playing. Talking about the high-end numbers. And what I mean is, like, when Brave New World said, hey, we need to get to $500 million, that's the high-end numbers. You're talking about the 425 number for the Thunderbolts. You're talking about $500 million for Superman. $500 million for Superman. And remember, just the other week, they said Superman made $128 million in the theatrical run. That's mostly ancillary stuff. A lot of reporting came out to kind of explain this. It's probably more like it made $20 million in the theatrical ticket sales. And then due to some of its partnerships, some of the ancillary sales, it was able to make $100 million. Okay? So I want you to understand the rules of the game. We play at the high end, okay? And it's all about the big numbers. This is what's crazy about Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer is competing in that game, in the high end numbers, but it is fucking dominating Hollywood if you look just a little more closely. Because the rumored budget for this movie is between $15 to $30 million. Okay? So right now, you have tentpole entertainment in the United States coming out of the West, which we are judging on the high-end numbers. We are not accurately reporting the cost. We are not accurately reporting the cost to promote and market. We are not accurately reporting the money that gets brought back in. Okay? So Demon Slayer is not just winning by the bullshit Hollywood game that's been played over the last 6 months, 9 months, couple of years. It's winning at a very deep level. You look at this thing, it costs $15 to $30 million. Do you understand what that means? Do you understand how much money this thing is making? This thing is going to end up profiting probably the same amount that Deadpool and fucking Wolverine did. And it's the first movie in a trilogy, okay? Now, the other thing that I think is really crazy about this is the marketing. Out of curiosity, how many of you guys thought the marketing for this film was effective? Did you see a lot of ads for it? Did you think it was all over the place? What did you think of the marketing for this film? Because I have a take, but I want to know what you guys think, because there's something else we have to draw here as far as a comparison to Hollywood, comic book movies, Hollywood studios, and all that. Okay, so we have differing opinions here. Some people saying I heard some marketing. Some people saying I didn't hear anything. Didn't see much. Non-existent, we're seeing in the chat. Yeah, I watch anime often, and I didn't see more than 2. Yeah, I saw ads on Crunchyroll. Yeah. So my take, and this is just my take, but I think it's supported by some evidence out here. There was no marketing, basically. Yeah, some people in chat are saying you were the marketing, Josh. In a sense, I was. Not me personally, but you're right in a sense that the word of mouth was the real marketing. And I gotta tell you, it's an example of what I was talking about at the beginning of the segment. Culture has moved the fuck on, and a lot of the dinosaurs that have left in these old systems, in these old gatekeepy ways of disseminating information about entertainment and really keeping a tab on what even entertainment is. The gatekeepers have completely lost control of what this is. Culture now moves on its own. And Demon Slayer and anime has been moving on its own in a very, very strong way that I don't think Hollywood quite understood, maybe right until this moment when this movie accomplished what it was able to accomplish. Now, to really focus down on this point about the marketing, I just want to say that, I get so excited talking about this stuff because I really like this. I like fandom. I'm obsessed with how people interact with these things, how something that starts off as a small community becomes a huge community, becomes this big thing in the zeitgeist or whatever. But just hear me out on this, okay? This movie had the feeling, if you were plugged in, of being a super big deal. It was something you would talk about. It was something you would bring up with your friends. It was in the space, if you cared about anime at all, it was a really, really important, a really, really big deal. But it wasn't slammed over our heads. It wasn't every single place you looked. It wasn't actually marketed like that. It just happened to be something really big that people really cared about. Something I noticed in the marketing for this film, and it happened over months, was a lot of fan screenings. Because it opened up in different markets, right? Sort of slowly opened up around the world. And you saw a lot of fan screenings, a lot of people super hyped up, big long lines, packed theaters. And it struck me as I was looking at all of this that it's similar to what Disney and Warner Brothers tried to create with Fantastic Four and Superman. With Fantastic Four and Superman, there were fan screenings. You know, and Disney's especially, right? They have these big red carpets. They invite all the influencers out. They have a lot of fan screening events. They're trying to make it seem like this big freaking party, and they want to show you the crowds being excited and sell it as this big event, right? And I think the same thing was done with Superman. I mean, you had all those showings, you had the early fan screenings, you had actors and guns showing up to theaters and stuff. It's always this thing to try to make it seem like it's this big thing. Dude, what's weird about Demon Slayer is it just was that. And it didn't pretend to be that. It wasn't trying to force you to think that that's what it was. It was that. It literally was that. And there's this big pushback. In the West, we've become so jaded, and the conversation has been so hijacked and just like warped in the fandom that we now see the people at the premiere for the Marvel movie and we say shills. And we say Access Media. And we said the same thing for DC. And I know some people that do that kind of stuff. And, you know, you have to admit, whether you think it's fair or not, that's what's happening. That's what's happening. The branding for the superhero genre and for Hollywood entertainment has been so hurt. It's so bad. It's not about the celebration of the fandom. It's about anything but. It's about the politics, the optics. It's about hollowed out corporate desires. The conversation around these things has taken such a weird form. And we've seen it, right? Like you've seen it, I've seen it. We talk about Marvel and Star Wars all the time. You just bring up Star Wars and look at the reaction. You just bring up Marvel and look at the reaction. Bring up DC and look at the reaction, like dead ass online. That's what it is. Demon Slayer built its shit over years and years of just doing what it was, not overthinking it, being really fucking good to its fans, and building a strategy of how to integrate the theatrical experience into this big, big story. And it's succeeding because it actually did the groundwork. It actually did the hard part for years and years and years. And now it is taking advantage of that. It's sort of set the table, so to speak, and now it's eating. And I just think that at this time, right, as we look at the success of this thing, we look what's going on in Hollywood. Hollywood wants a quick buck. They want to adapt this. They want to turn this around. Dude, it's broken. It's broken. Demon Slayer, Infinity Castle, has what Hollywood so desperately wants. An incredibly popular IP that activates fans to go see the thing, to purchase the ancillaries, to be active and engaged on social media about the thing. It is completely paying off. And I think, you know, you look back to those comments that Sony made where they're viewing Demon Slayer as their way to challenge Disney's global dominance. Those are real words. Holy shit. I think, consider the global dominance to be challenged. Now, that's all just this movie and Hollywood and the difference. And yes, it's fascinating. But what happens next is going to be very interesting as well. Because we're right on this precipice, right? You know, you've got the video game stuff. Everybody's cooking video game stuff. Anime is hot as fuck right now. The Demon Slayer thing is proven that. The K-pop Demon Slayer Hunter thing is proven that. Anime is huge. You've got live action Solo Leveling being developed. You've got live action My Hero Academia. Hollywood is going to see this and they're going to try to take advantage. The question is Hollywood going to fuck this all up? Or are they going to be able to tap in properly to what has been earned by these creators, by these different studios? You're talking about this has actually been earned. Not just the genre, but the different individual franchises and the different individual IP has earned its place within the fandom. Is Hollywood going to come in there and fuck it all up? Or is Hollywood going to come in and allow the people that have already built this to build what's next? I don't really know, but it's fascinating, dude. It's fascinating. Who knows how far this film could go? The criticism and the knock on the anime movies is that it is very front-loaded, and I would imagine, yeah, that's probably true, right? It will be front-loaded, but this thing could still get to $500-600 million. Like, that's a possibility here. This thing could make more than Superman. And again, Superman has, like, we know Superman's budget is like $370, and they used all kind of tricks to get the budget down. But like, you could say whatever you want about what the actual cost is. Brother, they paid like $376 million of resources went into making Superman. Accounting tricks made it so it's less than that. Do you understand what I'm saying? This movie is about to potentially make more than Superman. And that's on just gross. And it could make way more net because it costs $30 million on the top end. Dude, Superman literally costs 10 times as much. This is crazy. We don't even fully understand the impact of this. I think there are a lot of smart people that are going to try to figure out what to do next. How do you build the next Demon Slayer? And that's a tough one because, look, this is also prevalent for anime. So even if you just go into the anime community, this is like crazy. Rockstar, like, what the fuck are we doing here? Dragon Ball Z-esque numbers. Yeah, this is maybe the most successful anime franchise of all time now. And considering this is just the first movie of a trilogy, my God, bro. What's the next one do? And if I were Sony, right? And if I were Crunchyroll, I'd be like, let's get the live action Demon Slayer cooking now. And let's develop that so that right as this trilogy of Infinity Castle ends, you go into the live action stuff. I mean, bro. Whew, damn, they could be cooking, man. And I don't even know how you pull something like that off, but you need to get really good action people, of course, to do that. So, Demon Slayer, guys. What do you make of this? Any comments? Any questions? What do y'all think about this, man? Demon Slayer setting records. I mean, are you shocked? Come on, man. Y'all got to be shocked, right? This is crazy. Can't remember. Is the movie actually good? What movie? This one? I really like this Demon Slayer movie, yeah. Sitting in the cinema last night, all I was thinking about how this would look in live action, it would be insane. It would be insane. Not really shocked. Oh, okay, John Bond. Oh, okay, John Bond. Just don't expect the last 30 minutes to be anything mind-blowing. Yeah, fair. Why is Demon Slayer? Good question. Good question. Really thought-provoking feedback here from the chat, as always. Theater was packed and the crowd cheered. Marvel should try X-Men 97 animated movie as an experiment. I think so, too. I think that could be lit, bruh. Is Demon Slayer top anime for you? I personally feel like it's overhyped and mid. I don't think it's mid, but it is overhyped. I don't consider it to be one of my favorite animes. But it's like, it's a commercial. Like, honestly, Demon Slayer is like the Avengers or Marvel in a sense that, like, it's the most popular, but not necessarily the most sophisticated or the best, right? Like, my opinion on Demon Slayer is, like, it's pretty standard shonen, actually. But it excels in two ways. The action is fucking incredible. And then the humanizing of the demons is, I mean, that's their thing. You know what I mean? Like, that's their thing, and they do it really well. Josh, I work at a movie theater part-time. In the past few days, I've seen a lot of fans coming to watch there in cosplay. It's awesome to see. Oh, hell yeah. No, people are definitely eventizing this, and it does feel special. That's another thing. Like, Hollywood movies are not special. They're a dime a dozen. Live-action animated movies that are anime, that close out an arc, I mean, that's inherently more special, right? So there's a lot. This movie has a lot going for it. A lot going for it. Like a lot. I think Netflix or Paramount would be a good home for DC, but I prefer Paramount. Having UFC and DC Twisted Metal all in one stop would be cool. That's true. That would be cool. Yep. Solo Leveling about to do numbers. Well, that's the other thing, right? Is like, here's what gets uncomfortable, I think, for Western folks. Guys, I think the only reason that anime isn't dominating Nielsen charts and shit like that is because they're not actually tracking it right. I think if we're talking about worldwide viewership, I mean, anime, we might be entering an era where anime dominates the zeitgeist, the worldwide zeitgeist. That's a bit preemptive, of course. But like, okay, so think about it like this, right? What if, when we really look at it, anime's dominating all of the viewership, all of it. All of it. Like, what happens if Hollywood and coastal journals and, websites and all of this stuff, what happens when those people that are covering pop culture, what happens if they realize the vast majority of the clicks to be had come from anime? Because that's what happened with Marvel. That's literally what happened. You have so many people that are like pseudo into Marvel, halfway into Marvel, kind of understand Marvel, talk all about Marvel, because it's the most popular thing. That's it. I don't know, man. This is fascinating to me. Fascinating time to be covering entertainment.